The age of censorship is here, or has been here for the past few years, and now a new threat is on the horizon: artificial intelligence, or AI. A New York Post recently discussed a report from Republicans on the House Judiciary Committee, which claimed that the Biden administration is developing artificial intelligence, or AI, tools for potential censorship. The report alleges that the administration is investing millions of dollars in AI to identify and combat so-called misinformation. The AI tools are part of a larger initiative called the Convergence Accelerator Program and a specific program called Trust and Authenticity in Communication Systems, otherwise known as Track F. The program is funded by the National Sciences Foundation, or NSF, and involves elite institutions like MIT, the University of Madison, Wisconsin, and the University of Michigan. The major concern here is that these tools could be used to censor content, similar to how Twitter censored the Hunter Biden laptop story back in 2020. The Track F program, you see, is focused on doing things like building trust around controversial topics, which involves creating tools and techniques that assist online communities in engaging with divisive issues in a way that fosters trust and understanding. Translation: tools to help them create propaganda that will reinforce whatever the narrative is that they want pushed. The NSF has invested $21 million in this research track, emphasizing the importance of addressing the spread of misinformation as one of the defining scientific challenges of our time. The program encourages the development of original tools, techniques, or educational materials to effectively mitigate or prevent critical threats to communication systems. Now, within Track F, there's something called the ARTT, or Analysis and Response Toolkit for Trust, led by hacks and hackers. This project has developed a software prototype called the ART Guide, which is designed to support individuals in online communities with building trust around controversial topics. The way that the ART Guide will work is it will provide expert-informed suggestions for analyzing information and communicating with others. When a controversial issue arises, the ART Guide would provide expert-informed suggestions for analyzing the information being discussed. This could include guiding users on how to identify credible sources, evaluate the evidence supporting claims, and understand the scientific consensus on whatever the topic might be. Now, the House Judiciary Committee's subcommittee on the weaponization of big tech, chaired by Jim Jordan, published this report. The subcommittee issued a subpoena to the NSF for records relating to their AI plan. And the NSF has responded by stating that it does not engage in censorship. Of course they don't, and has no role in content policies or regulations. It also stated that its investment in research are aimed at understanding communication technologies that allow for the spread of misinformation. But see, here's the rub. We already have examples of precisely how this tool will be used. We have been living through intense attempts at crushing speech online for the past number of years. In fact, thanks in large part to a cabal of international collaborators between major news organizations, social media platforms, and technology companies, censorship has never been so prevalent in our lifetimes. And worse, it's been excused by many in the name of tolerance. Gotta get rid of those intolerant people. For those who may not know, a campaign was commenced to eliminate so-called disinformation or misinformation online. This cabal is known as the Trusted News Initiative, or the TNI, which was founded by the BBC, created back in September of 2019, and is led by Jessica Cecil. The initiative organized to swiftly wipe out conversations that they deemed as high-risk disinformation, sharing alerts among each other so that they can review content promptly and avoid the so-called spreading of dangerous falsehoods. In other words, they deemed themselves the arbiters of what is acceptable speech and what is true. The Trusted News Initiative has since been accused of suppressing competition from smaller news outlets and content creators. A lawsuit was then filed in 2023 alleging that the TNI members worked together to exclude rival news publishers from dominant internet platforms. The lawsuit is claiming that this exclusion particularly targets those who challenge or compete with the narratives of TNI members. And indeed, this group wielded tremendous power. The reason for this is they had the big tech members, who have been described as platform gatekeepers in the online news market and have been accused of having the power to cripple or destroy publishers by excluding them from their platforms. All of this was going to plan, by the way, until Elon Musk bought Twitter and then broke the monopoly of speech on the internet, allowing unfettered conversations to once again flow, even if it's still on just the one platform. which, by the way, is why he's so hated now in the mainstream media. Propaganda, the narrative that you want, becomes so much harder to control when there is at least one platform widely used by people everywhere that allows the voice of average people to speak freely, at least mostly. So you might be wondering, well, how does the TNI and Track F relate here? Well, you see, my friends, the TNI has been sued. The lawsuit against the Trusted News Initiative was filed by Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and several other plaintiffs, including the organization he founded, the Children's Health Defense, and other entities. They are alleging that the TNI violated antitrust laws and infringed upon freedom of speech and the press. The lawsuit is alleging that the Trusted News Initiative members have worked together to exclude rival news publishers from dominant internet platforms, leading to their content being censored, demonetized, demoted, throttled, and/or excluded entirely. But for our conversation today, within the deeper details of this lawsuit, accusations have been made that the federal government had agents who were involved with non-governmental organizations, otherwise known as NGOs, participating within the Trusted News Initiative. These allegations are suggesting that the government, through these agents, has influenced the actions of the TNI and its members, although it's important to note that these allegations have not yet been decided in court. One of the key pieces of evidence cited in these allegations is a testimony given to the House Judiciary Committee back in March of 2023. The testimony is alleging that federal government officials, agencies, and contractors had been involved in censoring and deplatforming operations. It also mentioned that the Department of Homeland Security worked directly with the University of Washington, a partner within the TNI, during the 2020 election cycle. The testimony further alleged that the DHS and other government entities have been involved in mapping threat actors and coordinating social media takedowns, similar to how they would handle a cyber attack. So, when we understand the intention of the TNI and the alleged involvement of the DHS, the danger becomes quite clear. AI will almost certainly make this process so much more efficient. And given time, if left unchecked, what is truth and what isn't may very well be decided by organizations like this, all at the hand of an AI program. Something that this world clearly needs to avoid. And that, my friends, will bring our episode to a close once more. From the To Be Frank show, I am Adrian. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time.